Why, hi there. We're going to get some. Okay, we are live. Why, hi there. I'm Ron Juckett, and it's time for the start of a new replay. It may say Sunday afternoon, and you know it's a Monday night, and we're doing this on September 10th, 2018. I'm Ron Juckett, and we welcome you to our 1987-88 National Hockey League replay, where we're going to do games during football season. Early Sunday afternoons is going to be when most of these games are done, and I think we're probably going to do some on Friday night. I did the test for this on a Friday night, so I believe that's what we're going to do. Let me get this so I can actually see it correctly. Hold on. Mm-hmm. No, don't want any sound. All right, I think I have it all set. So, tonight's game is going to be the opener. Usually when I do a replay, I do the opening game of the defending champion. In this case would be the Edmonton Oilers. But they did not play on opening night, and we're going to feature them in our next game, which I think is going to be Friday night at 7 around this time. So tonight we're going to bring you the Montreal Canadiens and Philadelphia Flyers from the Spectrum in Philadelphia. The reason why is pretty easy. These were the best two teams on paper in the East going into the 1987-88 season. Of course, at the end, for Edmonton, they went to the Stanley Cup. They won the Stanley Cup. They beat the Boston Bruins in the Adams division. Boston beat New Jersey in the Wales Conference Final that year, and I'm sure Edmonton played Detroit because those were the two best teams in the Campbell Conference. So let's get right to it. Billy will be played by the computer. Oops. I gotta fix this because the rink didn't take. So one moment. That didn't work out very well. Now did it, Ron? Organize. This is why we do these tests. The logos took. You know, I did this earlier today and just forgot to change it. There we go. All right. Are we happy? Come on. Pop open. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so Patrick Waugh will be the goalkeeper for Montreal. The computer will take care of all the lines for you, so let's go through the starters for you. For the visiting Canadiens, Bobby Smith is your center. He had almost 90 points. Actually, I think he did. He had 93 points on the year. Good passer. Mats Naslund will be in the left wing first line. Stefan Richer, one of my favorite players of all time. 50-goal season in 87-88 for Montreal. They are the Stanley Cup champions from 1986, and they would make the Cup the next season, 88-89, before losing to Calgary. Defensively, Larry Robinson, the Hall of Fame. Well, they're both Hall of Famers. Larry Robinson on the left defense and Chris Chelios on the right defense. Look at Chelios' penalty minutes, 172. And Patrick Waugh is your goalkeeper. For the Philadelphia Flyers, Brian Propp is your left wing, Rick Tocchet is your right wing, and Murray Craven is the center. All good scorers. Mark Howe, Gordy's son, is the left defender, and Doug Crossman is the right defender. And in the net, the never shy Ronnie Hextall. So those are your starters. Let me get. Hello, Al. How are you? All right. So Craven and Smith, they're ready. And yes, yes. All right. Craven wins the faceoff. He's in trouble. Montreal has it at center ice. Richer. They give up possession. Puck is moved all the way back down. Wait a minute. Hold on. Would you stop? That went too fast. Who's got the puck? Philadelphia. Crossman has it. So line changes all the way around. Corson, Ryan Walter, and Claude Lemieux, the forwards for Montreal, was Svoboda and Sandelin. Crossman in his own zone. The Sinisalo. First shot of the year. Saved by Svoboda. Or blocked by Svoboda. Montreal has it. They'll skate it down. Corson to Lemieux. He misplayed it. Cleared back across the Philadelphia line. Lemieux again. Walter. Why am I not getting any sound? He shoots. That's blocked by Carson. Can't get it. Montreal has it at center ice. McPhee, Scruden, and Boisvert are the forwards for Montreal. Smith, Peter, Zezel, and Scott Mellenby, the forwards for the Flyers. And yes, Wow was a beast at forward. Mike McPhee skates it in there. McPhee in the zone. He has possession. Doesn't have anyone to pass it to, really. So Montreal will set it up again. Scrudland. Knocked off by Crossman. Here come the Flyers. They'll skate it up. Both teams change. Wow will play it behind the Lawler, and there's a penalty. Scrudland gets called for the trip. So the Flyers go on the power play with it's Scrudland at 3:11 of the first period. Gets called for the trip. So Zezel, who is a face-off master, Brian Propp and Rick Tocchet are the forwards for Philadelphia. Howe and Huffman are your defenders. Guy Carbonneau and Chris Nyland. I don't think there'll be a fight or three in this game, do you, with Nyland playing? Are your forwards for Montreal. Gingrich and Schneider are your defenders. So Carbonneau and Zezel. Zezel is removed from the circle. Carbonneau wins it. And Montreal clears. Eklund in for Zezel. And Sinisalo and Brown. Eklund dumps it in. Brown to Eklund. Back to Howe. Huffman. Howe. Clear shot at the net from the blue line, and it's score! Mark Howe. From Eklund and Huffman at 3:37 of the first period. A complete misplay by the Canadiens defense, and Philadelphia scores on the first shot of the season. I don't like that. But if you're a Flyers fan, you do. So Guy Carbonneau, Sergei Momesso, who now does the radio for Montreal on the left wing, and Ulf Dahlin on the right wing. Robinson and Chelios, the defenders for Montreal. Zezel on his normal line with Smith and Mellenby. Marsh and Smith for the Flyers on defense. If Carbonneau can win this face-off, too. Craven wins it. Tocchet dumps it in the corner to Craven to Propp. Back to Tocchet. From the slot, Waugh saves it. He'll hold it. 4 minutes gone by in the first period. Line change. McPhee, Scrudland, and Boisvert, the third line for Montreal. Propp, Craven, and Tocchet for the Flyers in the Montreal zone. Scrudland and Poulin, pardon me. Poulin wins the faceoff. Carson has it. He'll shoot. Poulin in front of the net. Wow with the save, and he'll hold it. So the next two have been led to save and faceoffs. First line out for Montreal. Smith, Naslund, and Richer. Sutter, Eklund, and Brown for the Flyers. Smith and Poulin will tie it up. Poulin kicks it out over to Carson. Back to Sinisalo. Handling in the way. Misses everything. Wide left. Here comes Montreal down the ice. Change Naslin to Riche, and here's a penalty. It's going to be on Brown, and the Flyers will kill a penalty. So the tripping penalty comes at 4:54 the first period. Smith, Riche, and Claude Lemieux with Chelios and Robinson on the defense. Poulin and Sutter will try to kill this for Philadelphia. Flyers lead 1-0, just the start of things here. Face-off is won by Poulin, and Philadelphia clears it. So here come the Habs. Smith to Chelios to Smith. Riche doubles faces. This could be good. Riche shoots. Hextall with a save. Rebound. Goes to Riche to Smith. Back to Chelios. Chelios has Smith inside. Point blank range. Saved by Hextall. Hextall to bounce away. Riche has it. Passes it out to Chelios. Chelios in the blue line. Hextall got a piece of that with the stick. Rebound belongs to Robinson. Finds Riche. Outside. He fires. Hextall gets that save. Moves to the front. Robinson with the puck. Robinson will shoot from the blue line. Pretty productive power play, but they haven't scored. That's a glove save by Hextall. It's loose. Riche has it behind the net. He'll try the wraparound on Hextall. He shoots and scores! Stefan Riche on the sixth shot of the power play makes it a 1-1 game. Give the assist to Larry Robinson, and the time of the goal is going to be 5:46 of the first period. Son of Gordy scores, yeah, for Philadelphia. So it's a 1-1 tie, and these are pretty good goaltenders here. This is not going to be one of these 7-6 jobbies that you'll probably see a lot of in this replay. But, there's still going to be quite a bit of offense. It'll be Ryan Walter, Shane Corson on the left, and Claude Lemieux on the right. Svoboda and Sandlin, the second pair of defenders on for Montreal. For Philadelphia, Zezel, who's supposed to be winning these faceoffs, but he's not, with Mellanby and Smith, Samuelson and Huffman, the defenders for Philadelphia. At center ice, Walter wins the faceoff. Philadelphia clears it back out. And they have the puck. Change lines. Derek Smith in the Montreal zone to Huffman, to Sezel, to Mellanby. To Smith with Svoboda in front. Svoboda blocks it. Sandlin has it, clears it out. The Flyers will bring it up again. Sinisalo is checked by Skrudland. Penalty coming up on Montreal. Tocchet, the extra attacker. Sinisalo is poked away by Lawler, and they finally called the penalty. A cross-check on Skrudland as Sinisalo tried to set it up, and so Philadelphia will get their second power play of the night. This penalty being called at 7:04 of the first period. So Carbonneau and Nyland, the defenders for Montreal, was Svoboda and Lawler. Zezel, the face-off master, with Prop and Tocchet. And as Al said, the son of Gordy out there with Huffman, who made the assist. 1-1 to score. First period. And Montreal wins the face-off again. Carbonneau clears it all the way down. Zezel starts his run to Prop, over to Tocchet. To Zezel with Tocchet in front. Save and a hold by Waugh. A minute 31 to go on the penalty to Skrudland. And Poulin will be out for this face-off with Murray Craven and Scott Mellanby. Crossman and Samuelson, the defenders. Green and Chelios are now the defenders for Montreal. And the face-off is won by Poulin. They're both nines. Poulin behind the net to Craven. It's a shot away. Waugh gets a hold of it. Kicks it up in the corner. Green has it. Montreal will try to clear. 1:11 to go on the power play. Montreal does clear. And here come the Flyers. Huffman. With a minute 1 on the power play. Lines change for everybody. Howe has it. Over to Craven. Thibodeau in front. Craven shoots. Thibodeau gets a block on it. Poulin has control. Poulin will try the wraparound on Waugh. Waugh will get a glove on that, and we'll have a save and a face-off. So that's the third Penguin or the Flyers shot of the power play. Shots are 6 aside. 11:21 to go in the first. Skrudland, 25 seconds left on his penalty. McPhee and Bobby Smith, the defenders now for Montreal. Prop Zezel and Tocchet out for the Flyers. Smith and Zezel on the faceoff. Zezel wins it cleanly. Over to Tocchet, to Prop. Crossman from the blue line. Waugh gets a piece of that. The rebound is over to Samuelsson. Samuelsson is knocked off by McPhee. The power play is over. We're at even strength. Skrudland on the ice. Svoboda to Smith behind the net. Svoboda doesn't really have anybody. He's going to shoot it himself. Bobby Smith on the screen. Hextall saw it all the way. Loose in front. The Flyers have the puck. 10:24 first period. Back come the Flyers. Carson to Poulin. Back over to Carson to Poulin. They're playing back and forth. Over to Sinisalo. He'll try a one-timer. Shane Corson with a block. Habs have it. 9:57 to go. They skate. Chelios now to Corson to Walter. In the zone to Lemieux. Larry Robinson. He'll shoot, and Hextall makes the save. We have ourselves the TV timeout. 9:40 to go first period. We are knotted up at 1. So Ryan Walter, the second line out for Montreal. Corson, Walter, and Lemieux with the first line defenders. Zezel, Smith, and Mellenby for Philadelphia. Howe and Crossman, the defenders. And it's the first Montreal face-off in the Flyer zone. Walter wins it over to Lemieux. Back over to Robinson. He'll shoot. Try to get the rebound. Hextall will not give up the rebound. It's a glove save. So the same forwards, Svoboda and Sandelin now, the defenders for Montreal. Eklund, Sutter, and Brown, or Suter and Brown for Philadelphia. Walter and Craven on the faceoff. Montreal wins it in the zone to Corson. Corson has possession behind the net. Has Lemieux inside. Samuelsson the way as he scores! So Corson fed Lemieux right in front of Hextall, and Lemieux just poked it home. Even with the defender in his face. That's his first of the year, obviously. Shane Corson with the assist, and the time of the goal is going to be 11:16 to make it Montreal 2, Philadelphia 1. There's all sorts of weird stories about Hextall, Al. I believe he's a GM of the Flyers at the moment. But which weird story are you referring to? He also scored in a game. An honest-to-goodness goal. Just like that. All right. So Bobby Smith with Naslund and Richer out for Montreal. Zezel with Smith and Mellenby for Philadelphia. Howe is back out. The first-line defenseman all the way around. Face-off at center ice is won by Bobby Smith to Robinson. Back over to Naslund, who gets hit by Zezel. But Zezel was a little too careless about it, and it's 2 minutes for elbowing. So Montreal goes in the power play with 8:27 to go in the opening period. That comes at 11:33 of the first period. So Richer and Lemieux out there with Smith, with Chelios and Robinson. Poulin and Sutter with Howe and Samuelsson for the Flyers. Face-off in the Flyer zone. Won by Smith to Richer. With a slapper, Hextall makes the save. Rebound goes back to Richer. And Montreal have to set it back up. There's no one open. Richer has it. He will penetrate on Samuelsson. He gets past him. Hit the button. He shoots, and Hextall makes the save. The rebound goes out to Howe, and the Flyers will clear it down. Richer has it. 1:30 left in the power play to Zezel. And Montreal sets it back up. Line changes all the way around. Lemieux to Smith. Back to Richer. Behind the net, no one really open. Montreal sets it back up. This time it's Lemieux. Richer open in the slot. He shoots and scores! So Richer gets the second of the period. Second in a row. This one from Lemieux and Bobby Smith. And the power play hurts the Flyers. It's now 3-1 Montreal. So Stefan Richer, who hit 50 on the real year, for you, you're rooting for Montreal. Thanks, Al. I appreciate that. The next game I'm going to do is Friday night at 7 or 7:30, and that will be Calgary and Edmonton. This is Gretzky's last year in Edmonton. They won the cup that year. They beat the Bruins. Um, but I wanted to do a year. I mean, the hockey regular seasons aren't very good anyway, except for stats. And so I wanted a year where Gretzky was still with Edmonton and the Bruins were good, because I know a lot of my viewers are Bruins fans, and I forgive you anyway. Would you believe that Richer has 6 of Montreal's 13 shots? And the time of that goal is at 12:31 of the opening period. So Smith, Richer, and Naslund back out there. I'm surprised Montreal hasn't changed. Svoboda and Sandelin, the defenders from Montreal. Smith, Zezel, fresh off the dumb penalty. And Mellenby with Samuelson and Holt and Hoffman. Poulin wins the face-off. They bring it in the Montreal zone to Shell Samuelson. Not off. He's with the Whalers. Samuelson from the blue line. Waugh makes a stop. And it goes out to Montreal. Montreal will play it. Line changes all the way around as they skate it out of their own zone. McPhee. Hoffman with the steal. The Flyers try to set something up. The prop. And there's a delayed penalty. Philadelphia will be on the power play. The Crossman with a shot. Tocchet, it's wide. Tocchet couldn't tip it. And so Skrudland gets his second penalty of the first period. He'll get called for the trip at 13:35. So Zezel again with prop and Tocchet, with the son of Gordy and Huffman on defense. Carbonneau, Nyland, the defensive forwards. Craig Ludwig and Larry Robinson for Montreal. Carbonneau and Zezel for the faceoff. This time Zezel wins it to Tocchet, to prop. Zezel passes it to prop. He shoots, and it's a save and a rebound. Watt kicked it away to Tocchet. Tocchet sets it up. Ludwig with a hit, and Montreal will clear. Nyland, oh, we got a fight. Nyland and Tocchet are going at it, my friends. Oh, now Watt and Hextall are going at it. Oh, baby. Lots of punches, and you knew that was going to happen. With Tocchet and Nyland, you knew there were going to be fights. That one was a draw, but Watt and Hextall go at it. And in the tail of the tape, that's a pretty heavyweight fight. So let's go through the penalties here. They come at 14:12 of the first period. Everyone gets 5 minutes. Nyland and Tocchet get 5. Waugh and Hextall get 5. No misconducts, no extra fights. Carbonneau will serve the 5 even though he's out there now. And Zezel. But I don't think the game has that one right. Anyway, so Montreal still shorthanded. 1:23 left in the penalty to Skrudland. And we're going to play it clear. Carbonneau wins the faceoff, so he can't be in the box. Boys to Chelios. Back to Carbonneau. Short-handed bid. Hextall makes the save. He says a few choice words. Yeah, awesome sauce. A goalie brawl. Yeah, I understand why my mother didn't really want me to watch a lot of hockey growing up. A goalie brawl in the opening game of the year. All right. Carbonneau and Poulin out for the face-off. Again, Montreal shorthanded. 1:06 to go. They lead 3-1. 1:06 in the Skrudland penalty. Poulin wins the face-off. Philadelphia is on the power play. Craven to Mellenby. He'll shoot. Waugh makes the kick save. Rebound goes to Howe. Howe is checked by Carbonneau, and Montreal will clear. So Howe gets leveled. Ooh, no penalty call. There are a few choice words that we can't repeat coming from the Spectrum crowd. Eklund has the puck for Philadelphia. 30 seconds left in the penalty to Skrudland. Teams change. Sinisalo has it. They dump it. Eklund to Crossman. Svoboda playing interference. He'll block the shot. It is Eklund. It's in a solo. Gainey plays interference. He'll block the shot. Can't get him through. Eklund has it. Time running out in the power play. Power play is over. Skrudland's back on the ice. Montreal has it. Gainey. They'll chase it down. Dump and chase to Lawler. To Thibodeau. Sinisalo has it. And that's the end of the rush. 4:05 to go, first period. 3:17 left in the Fighting Majors. Won't be the only time I say that tonight. Eklund dumps it into the Hab zone. He has it. Over to Smith. From the blue line. Watt saw that all the way, and he'll hang on for a face-off and a TV timeout. 3:45 to go, first period. Montreal 3, Philadelphia 1. And I'll take a drink. .257 left in the majors. I had this new table, which is allowing me to do a lot more of these live streams, and they put the drink too far away. I had to go get it. Skrudland and Zezel, or even strength 5-on-5, but the face-off is in the Montreal zone. McPhee and Boisvert for Montreal with Skrudland, Robinson, and Chelios, the defenders. Howe and Crossman joined Zezel, Smith, and Mellenby. Face-off is won by Philadelphia to Howe. Robinson in the way. Howe shoots. Robinson blocks. Lots of block shots for Montreal. They'll move it up to Boisvert, to Robinson, to Chelios, and they'll turn it over. Back come the Flyers. Derek Smith over to Howe, to Zezel. Howe, an outside shot, and scores again! Mark Howe! That's his second. And son of Gordy makes it 3-2. Zezel to Smith. I didn't see that one coming. That was an outside shot, and he was screened. So much for that being, one of these tight 4-3 games. It's 3-2, 2:52 left to go in the first period. Ryan Walter out there with Corson and Lemieux. Svoboda and Sandelin. Craven out there with Prop and Mellenby. Samuelson and Huffman. Yeah, you got to have that beverage close at hand, Al. Face-off is with Suter and Walter. Walter wins the face-off. Lemieux picks it up into the Flyer zone. Svoboda with a shot. Misses everything. Misses wide left. Philadelphia has it. Here, Huffman to Brown. Back to Huffman. Brown rushes the net. Waugh makes the save, and he deflects it out of play. Remember, no net there. And so someone got a souvenir. So it's telling me Poulin will face off against Skrudland. 2:16 to go in the first period. Craven and Skrudland. Montreal wins the face-off. McPhee dumps it in the zone to Boisvert, to Robinson, to McPhee. Grossman with the block, no. Hextall deflects it out of play, and Chelios is out for the game. Oh, no. Oh, no. That's not what you want to do. So Gingras is the defender. I got to get these rosters down to what they should be. He won't be returning. So Gingras will be Robinson's partner. Bobby Smith, Naslund, and Richer. Deep in the Flyer zone with Prop, Craven, and Mellenby. Yep, like the Pink Panther. Son of Gordy strikes again. Minute 9 left on the Fighting Majors. Smith and Craven. Smith wins the face-off. Over to Richer, to Naslund. Back to Smith. Going to try Sandelin outside. Sandelin gets the stick on it. Hextall makes the save. Passed out to Prop. Prop. Both teams change. Goes back to center. And Richer will skate it into the zone to Naslund. Over to Gingras, who lost the puck. It'll be Flyers puck. Here comes Craven. Under a minute to go to Sutter. To Marsh. Back to Brown. Pelly Eklund with the one-timer wide of the net. No shot. Off target left. Montreal has it. 38 seconds. Walter's line is out there. Goes all the way down. Now here come the Flyers. To Eklund. To Sutter. Eklund with a slapper. 7 seconds left. He shoots and Waugh saves. Freezes the puck, and that's the end of the first period. An eventful first period. 16 shots for the Canadiens. And 14 for the Flyers. After 1, it's Montreal 3, Philadelphia 1. Yeah, my computer's running pretty hot. Let's take a look at the scoring. Flyers scored on their first shot of the game at 3:37 on the power play. Howe from Eklund and Huffman. Then Montreal ran off 3 straight. Richer twice on the power play. First from Larry Robinson at 5:46. The second time at 12:31 on the power play from Claude Lemieux and Smith. Claude Lemieux also got a goal from Shane Corson, even-handed. And Philadelphia cut the goal deficit down to 1 with Howe second of the game. That was an even strength goal from Zezel and Smith. Penalties, well, we only had the one big fight, but it was a doozy at 14-12. Nyland and Tocchet on the undercard, and Juan Hextall, the main event. 16-14 the shots. As I said, for Montreal. Face-offs 11 aside. Hits 4-2 in favor of Montreal. They blocked 7 shots, and the Flyers won. Penalty minutes has already been 30 in the game. Yeah, this is an 80s game, can't you tell? The Habs 2 for 2 on the power play. The Flyers 1 for 3. And let me get that back to scoring. And the big news is that Chris Chelios is out for the rest of the game with a bum shoulder. So advantage Philadelphia as we start the second period. With Naslund, Smith, and Richer against Craven, Tocchet, and Prop. And the face-off is won by... Oh, Naslund is removed from the face-off. Or Naslund will take it over to Richer, to Smith, to Naslund. Ingris on the outside. Hextall makes an easy save, and he'll hold on. Line change already 15 seconds in the period for Montreal. Walter out there with Lemieux and Corson. Poulin wins it for Philadelphia, though. Carson back to Howe. Sinisalo gets it past Robinson, and it misses everything left. Montreal will skate around into the Flyer zone. Lemieux in trouble. Bounces over a stick. Here come the Flyers. Philadelphia chips it back out, and we'll just kind of fiddle and diddle for a while. Larry Robinson will set up this rush for Montreal. Back in the Flyer zone. Skrudland with Bob Gainey's picture. Shoots, and Hextall makes the glove save, and we'll get a face-off. 18:31 to go, second period. 3-2 Montreal. Shots in favor of the Habs. 18-14. Skrudland and Poulin, I believe. No, Zezo will take the face-off with Skrudland, and Skrudland wins the face-off. Skrudland. No one there to set it up to. Sandlin to Boisvert, and here come the Flyers. Zezel over to Huffman, to Zezel. To Mellenby outside, and that misses everything right. Sandlin has it. Philadelphia at center ice. Zezel into Mellenby. Svoboda with a check. Here comes Montreal. We got ourselves another fight. Samuelson just drops Svoboda. There was a whistle and a few kind of Arbor Day greetings said, and you don't wish anyone a happy Arbor Day after Labor Day. And Svoboda and Samuelson go at it. 5 minutes. Samuelson won the fight, so the crowd's all excited. I knew you'd like this, Al. And so this is our third fight of the game, and this one coming at 2:17 of the second period. So no Svoboda for the Habs and no Shel Samuelson. So Bobby Smith in his own zone will face off against Sutter. Al's loving this. With Naslund and Richer around Smith, Eklund and Brown around Sutter. Robinson and Gingras, the defenders for Montreal. Howe is on a hat-trick bid. He's scored on his only 2 shots, and Crossman for the Flyers. And it'll be Sutter and Smith. Smith wins the face-off. Montreal skates it out. Gingras, Gaston Gingras will shoot. On Hextall, that misses wide. And the puck bounces back to center. Montreal has it. Richer has it. Richer will bring it in the zone to Smith. Over to Gingras. Passes it over to Robinson. That misses everything, and in fact, it misses the glass too. Face-off coming in front of Hextall. Ryan Walter and I think Marie Craven. That's what the computer says. Sutter. Walter and Sutter. And Sutter eventually wins the face-off, and they dump it in the corner to Eklund, to Huffman. Huffman in trouble. Here comes Montreal. Lemieux to Samuelson. Over to Claude Lemieux, and now we're just kind of bouncing around. Sinisalo has it as center ice for Philadelphia. 16:26 to go, second period. Both teams change. Sinisalo is hit by Lawler. Here comes Montreal. Lemieux to Corson to Green. Back over to Lawler. Low percentage shot. Hextall doesn't take any chances. He'd love it and hold on to it. 15:55. No, it's Shell. It's Shell Samuelson. Al. Ulfie's, I believe Ulfie's either with the Penguins, who we'll see a bunch in this replay, or Hartford. I'm not sure which one. Skrudland and I think Poulin deep in the Flyer zone with Boisvert and McPhee with Skrudland. Gingras and Robinson, first line defense for Montreal. And it'll be Poulin and Skrudland. Skrudland wins the faceoff. Gingras will shoot. Boisvert is there for the deflection if need be, but Hextall says, no, I'm just going to save it, and you can face off again. Fourth line in for Montreal, Momesso, Carbonneau, and Dahlin with Green and Sandelin. First time Momesso and Dahlin have been on the ice. And Prop, Craven, and Taka is what the computer's telling me. And it'll be Zeza with Carbonneau. Carbonneau wins the face-off. Over to Dahlin. Has Green outside. Rick Green. Hextall gets a piece of that. And another save and a hold. So Guy Carbonneau says, yeah, I'll take all the face-off practice you can give me. Smith says, no, Craven's line is out there, and he wins the face-off. But only to center ice. Momesso brings it back in. Now they dump it back out. 14:20 to go, second period. Crossman in the Montreal zone. Craven from near the goal line. Wow, with a stop. And we're going to have a face-off. Walter, Corson, and Lemieux. And your guess is as good as mine. Okay, don't mess with him either. Yeah. There's a lot of these dudes you don't want to mess with. Green and Lawler, the defenders. Remember, there's still a minute 21 in the penalties to Samuelson and Svoboda. Walter plays defense against Zezel, I think, on this faceoff. And his Zezel with Smith and Mellenby. Walter wins the faceoff and they dump it in. Lemieux. Claude Lemieux will try to penetrate past Smith. He can't get around him, but he will get a shot on the Hextall, and Hextall kicks it away with a blocker. Puck is loose. Mellenby eventually has it. Here come the Flyers. Philly. Howe to Zezel. Over to Mellenby, and Lawler drove him in the boards. Going to be a power play for Philadelphia. Zezel with a shot. Smith deflects. It's wide, and Montreal touches it, but Lawler takes 2 minutes for an elbow. So you're forcing Craig Ludwig to play defense. Gainey and Thibodeau out there for Montreal. Prop says Zezel and Tocchet. Anyway, the faceoff is going to be in front of Waugh. 3-2 Montreal, 13:05, second period. Zezel wins the faceoff. Huffman over to Brian Prop. Prop from the slot. Shoots and Waugh saves and holds it. So Carbonneau and Strudlin, the primary penalty killers from Montreal out there now. Poulin, Craven, and Mellenby is what it says. But yes, Poulin wins the faceoff. Over to Craven, to Poulin. Is pressured. Skrudland pokes it away. Montreal will clear all the way out. So here comes Howe. 1:19 to go on the power play. The fighting major is done. 12:24 left in the second. Brown to Eklund. Over to Howe. Hat-trick Brid. Not quite yet. And Salo chips one out. Wide. It's a save. And Brown is injured, but he'll be back. So that injury for Philadelphia. Zezel, Prop, and Tocchet, supposedly for Philadelphia. Gainey and Thibodeau for Montreal with Green and Svoboda. Hey, Dog Cities, how are you? Montreal will try to clear. Nope, Philadelphia wins. Over to Samuelson. Fresh out of the box, prop in front of the net. Watt saves the Samuelson shot, and we'll have another faceoff. 34 seconds left in the Lawler penalty. 22 to 18. Montreal leads in shots. They lead 3-2 in the game, but the Flyers are on the power play. Carbonneau against Zezel. And Carbonneau wants to face off. Montreal clears it all the way down. 27 seconds left on the power play. Crossman, the defender, comes up with it to Tocchet. Samuelson to prop. Power play is over. They couldn't get another shot. Zezel flings it at Waugh. We have a save and a hole, and I believe a TV timeout with 10:57 to play in the second period. Montreal 3, Philadelphia 2. Hello, Phantomatic. All right. So this is a special. I know that some of you might be watching the Monday Night Football game between the Jets and the Lions. So this is going to be primarily a Sunday afternoon series. We're going to play them usually in the early slot about 1 o'clock. So if you can watch this or watch this whenever you want because it's YouTube, and then we should be done by the time that the early game on Sunday goes to the second half at the latest. So we're doing the 87-88 season. Our next game is going to be Friday night because I have some Friday nights free, and I want to try to get through this not as quickly as possible, but at a pretty good clip. So our next game is Friday night at 7 o'clock. It'll be Calgary and Edmonton, the best two teams in the Campbell Conference. I believe it's from Edmonton, but don't hold me to that. Anyway, Walter and Craven out for the face-off. No one in the penalty boxes. So all the Gatorade bottles are being refilled, waiting for the next fight. Craven and Walter for the face-off. Walter wins it. Corson dumps it in the Flyer zone. Robinson to Gingras. To Gingras over to Corson. Corson shoots and saved by Hextall. Hextall kicks it away. Puck is loose. Crossman has it. Here come the Flyers. They cleared out of the zone, but they can't do anything with it. Larry Robinson behind the net takes it the other way. Got a penalty coming to Philadelphia. Ryan Walter with the shot. That misses wide to the left. His stick is shattered. And Brian Pop gets 2 minutes for dancing. Or holding, as the case may be. And so Montreal goes in the power play at the 9:58 mark of the second period. This second period's taking forever. Did I move that one down? Hold on a sec. All right, I'm trying to make sure that my chat is there so I can see what you guys are saying. So Smith and Richer Lemieux. Richer has 2 goals. Hasn't had a shot in the period, so he's on a hat trick bid. Poulin and Suter for the Flyers. Smith wins the face-off. Over to Richer. Richer's going to try a wraparound. Hat trick bid. No. Hextall save. Rebound goes to Smith and the Flyers clear. Swoboda brings it back. Has Bobby Smith in the middle. Huffman hopes to get a piece of it. He does. Ludwig has it to Smith. Back to Craig Ludwig. Ludwig will try to shoot. He does. Hextall with an easy save. But there is a rebound. Smith has it. Back over to Richer to Bobby Smith. No one there to pass it to. Smith again. This time he's going to try to, penetrate against the other Smith. 1:29 left in the power play. Smith gets past his defender. He shoots point blank range, and Hextall with a save. Oh, what a save by Hextall! And the Flyers short-handed. But here come the Habs. Bobby Smith again. Minute 11 to go in the power play. 9:13 to go in the second period. Philadelphia, though, will kill it. Poulin gains his own. Philadelphia is just now icing it. They're trying to score. Montreal has it back. Gingras. 44 seconds left on the power play. Thibodeau to Dahlin. Over to Gingras. This is not who you want out there. But he has Thibodeau open in the slot. He shoots. Hextall with a big save. Loose in front. Rebound Naslund. Naslund with a wraparound. Fifth shot on the power play. He shoots. Hextall stands at the challenge. Rebound. Over to Naslund, to Tebow, to Gingras. Dolan kind of open in the slot. Gets the puck away and scores! A power play goal for Montreal. A slapper from Dolan. From Gingras and Thibodeau, but Thibodeau's holding his hip. So the power play is costly. With 8:22 to go in the period, it's 4-2 Montreal. And that goal comes at 11:44 of the second period. So the Flyers have some work to do. So Skrudland, Boisvert, and McPhee for Philadelphia. Craven, Tocchet, and Prop for the Flyers. Gingras and Robinson on defense for Montreal. Howe, who could somehow get a hat trick. And Crossman, first line defenders for Philadelphia. Zezel's removed. Smith takes the face out. Montreal will win it. They clear it. No icing. Crossman skate, and they trade back and forth. Lawler will skate it into the Flyer zone. McPhee. Prop steals. We're going to have ourselves a rush to Prop. He digs. To Tocchet, point blank range, and he scored! Mike Tocchet on a breakaway beats Wah on the high side of the glove, and it's now 4-3. And so they get Brown back. Philadelphia gets Brown back. You give Craven and Prop the assist there on the Tocchet goal that comes at 12:41 of the second period, and that's our 7th goal of the game. As I told you in the beginning, don't expect this season to be a clinic in goalkeeping because it's just not going to be that way. And these two teams have combined for 7 goals in 33 minutes. Orson, Walter, and a tired Lemieux for Montreal. Zezel, Mellenby, and Smith for Philadelphia. Oops. And my phone is ringing. I'm not answering that. All right. So Walter and Zezel on the faceoff. Philly wins it. Smith to Mellenby. Mellenby shoots. It's a save by Wah. Montreal has possession. They skate it out. Teams change. Bobby Smith, Svoboda to Smith. Back to Svoboda from the blue line. Richer in front of the net. And scores! Richer deflected, and that's a hat trick. So Svoboda kind of half whipped at that, and then Richer just nicked it in, just enough to fool Hextall, and it's now 5-3 Montreal. That's his 3rd of the game. That's his obviously 3rd of the year. Svoboda and Bobby Smith with 2 assists. And so Richer, who scored 50 in 87-88, has 3 on opening night. How about that? And Al asks, where was this war against the Bruins when I was tough? Trust me, we still got a period and a half to go, so it's not over yet. Bobby Smith out there against Murray Craven. 5-3 Montreal, and the fans here at the Spectrum are not too happy. Smith, Richer with a check, Montreal at center ice. Here comes Claude Lemieux. Everyone changes. Poulin with the check. Philly has it at center. And now, yes. Poulin in the corner. And Montreal will skate it around. We now play dump and chase. McPhee, Green to Boisvert. Skrudland to Boisvert. Heel shoot. Hextall this time makes the save. Rebound goes to the Flyers, and they'll bring it back up. 5:21 to go, second period. 5-3 to Smith. To that Smith. One-timer. Wah to the challenge. Kick save. Montreal has it. 5 minutes to go. Svoboda. Prop with a check. Philadelphia has the puck, and not any... Yes, they do. Who is it? Tocchet. They'll dump it in the Montreal zone. Prop. Naslund with a hit. Prop got it back. Prop. And we'll have some line changes as nothing happens. Bobby Smith over to Naslund. To Smith with that god-awful picture of Bob Gainey from 1975 there. Samuelson in the way. Hextall saw it all the way. He covers it up 5-hole, and we have a TV timeout with 4:15 to go in the second period. Montreal 5, Philadelphia 3. This is Sunday afternoon NHL, a Monday night special. Insert your own theme music here. And the cat now will join me. What do you think of the hockey game so far, Emily? Shut up, I want to cuddle with you. All right, so Skrudlin and Craven coming out of the timeout with McPhee and Blasfair. I got to figure out how to pronounce that because I don't remember him. Prop, Craven, and Tocchet for the Flyers. Howe and Crossman, the defenders. Robinson and Gingras in for the injured Chelios for Montreal. Skrudlin, this will be against Zezel. Zezel wins the faceoff. They dump it in the Montreal zone. Crossman will shoot with Millenby in the front. Misses everything. Millenby tipped it wide right. Here comes Montreal. Robinson. De Boisvert. Over to Robinson. To Gingras. Hextall makes the stop. And Philadelphia will have it. 3:39 to go in the second period. Montreal behind their net. Skrudlin. Hit by Smith. The Flyers have it at center ice. Waiting for the next big chance. Montreal by 2. Here's Huffman from the blue line. Wow, with a stop and a save and a hold. And Sandelin is being helped from the ice. Another injury for Montreal. Shots 33-23 in favor of the Habs. 5-3 on the scoreboard. Yeah, I use XSplit, just in case anyone's wondering. I didn't really find OBS all that easy to use. So Walter and Craven will take the face-off with Lemieux and Corson around Walter and Prop and Tocchet. Philadelphia trails by 2. Latter stages of the second period. Poulin wins the face-off. Poulin to Carson. To Sinisalo. And when you see the double face, that's a good goal chance. Sinisalo fires it on Waugh, who makes the save, and then gets out of the zone. Sinisalo to Samuelson. Back to Poulin. Sinisalo in front. And that's a goal! Dave Poulin slapped one. Waugh got a finger on it, but he couldn't close the finger. So it's 5-4 Montreal. And give the assists to Jimmy Carson and Shell Samuelson. And that goal comes at... Oops, don't step on anything, cat. Don't step on anything. We still recording? Okay, we're still streaming live. Okay. Scared me there. Carson and Samuelson. So Dave Poulin scores on that, coming at 17:48 of the second period. It's a one-goal game. Don't you love 80s hockey? This is what I was kind of hoping for. Actually, honestly, I was hoping that Montreal would win 9-0. But when you have the best two teams in the Wales Conference, this is the stuff you're going to get. So Skrudlin and Craven on the face-off. Hope you're enjoying this. Zezel, pardon me. Over to Mellenby, to Crossman, to Zezel. Howe, hat-trick bid. Howe misses wide left. Gingras has it. Philadelphia has it back at center. Montreal back on their heels now. Poulin to Smith. Carson to Marsh. One times it. Wow, will save and hold. 1:38 to go in the second period. Fourth line out, Sergio Momesso, Guy Carbonneau, and Ulf Dahlin for the Habs. Prop, Craven, and Tocchet for the Flyers. Carbonneau, the face-off ace for Montreal, and he does win this. Clears it back to center, but back come the Flyers. Here's Sutter. He shoots and Waugh saves. A huge save out to the defender. Both teams change. Under a minute to go. Momesso into the Flyer zone. Crossman steals it. Back over to Howe. Montreal has it. Oh, we might get another fight before the period's hit because Howe was just rattled by Momesso. Green skates it in the Flyer zone to Walter. Walter doesn't have anyone there. 10 seconds to go. Not sure if we're going to get anything here. Nope, and that's the end of the period. But an eventful period here at the Spectrum. It is Montreal 5, Philadelphia 4. All right. Let's do the 4 goals in the second period, only 1 on the power play. Dahlin scored for Montreal at 11:38, assisted by Gingras and Thibodeau. Then the Flyers got one back. Tocchet from Craven and Prop, even strength. Stefan Richer got his hat trick. That's a pretty good way to start a year from Svoboda and Smith. And then Dave Pullen made it a 1-goal game at 17:48 from Carson and Samuelson. What game are you guys talking about? Thanks, dog. Penalties. We didn't have any. We did have a fight. Svoboda and Samuelson went at it. Wonder if the whistles will be put away for the third period. I doubt it. Both teams had a power play. Shots into the period 17-13 in favor of the Habs. Overall 33-27 in favor of Montreal. Face-offs are 22 aside. 12 hits to 6 for Montreal. No blocked shots. Well, I think Philadelphia blocked 1. Montreal's blocked 7. Scoring chances 14 for Montreal, 11 for the Flyers. We've now had 44 penalty minutes. And the Habs, what makes them dangerous is that power play, and they are a perfect 3 for 3. Final Fantasy 14. Okay. And if you're wondering about time on the ice, Larry Robinson has played 17:26. I don't know if any one of you have not seen Action PC Hockey. I'm actually using the new one. I know Al's used that too. So those are the Montreal stats. Stefan Richer has 8 shots. Lawler has delivered 2 hits. And Claude Lemieux has given it away 3 times. Svoboda has made 3 blocked shots. Ryan Walter has won 6 of 10 faceoffs. If you're rooting for the Flyers, Howe has the most time on the ice, 18:36. We'll get the right amount of skaters available for the next time. Dave Pullen has won 9 of 12 faceoffs for 75%. Okay, third period time. Smith and Craven here. 1-goal game as we start the final period. We do a 5-minute overtime if needed. Smith wins the faceoff, but the Flyers now dump it in the corner in the Montreal zone. Tocchet with a rocket that zooms past everybody. Here come the Habs. They'll skate it up. Larry Robinson to Chelios, who's back. What? Chelios is back? What's it supposed to be? Robinson is pressured. Tocchet checks into the boards and gets called for a cross check. Well, they told me that Chelios wasn't coming back. I guess he is. I don't know if there's a patch for this one out yet or not. Because if you were watching in the first period, Zezel and Carbonneau were supposed to be sitting in the penalty box, and when Waugh and Hextall went on it, and they proceeded to skate right through it. So it'll be Thibodeau and Naslin and Dahlin to start the power play with Chelios and Robinson. Poulin and Sutter for the Flyers with Howe and Chell Samuelson. Thibodeau and Poulin for the faceoff. Poulin wins it, and the Flyers clear. It's a good way for Philly to start this. Back comes Chelios, 10 seconds into the power play. Dump and chase, Naslin to Chelios. One-timer, Sutter gets a piece of that, and the Flyers will clear. Poulin, short-handed bid to Samuelson, but Shell lost the puck. Both teams change. Here's Bobby Smith to Svoboda. Prop playing the screen. Prop blocks the shot. Loose puck in front of the net. It's Bobby Smith. And they'll pass it around. There's no one really there that can take it. Here's Richer. Has Lemieux open on the slot. So Smith right there. The shot, saving the rebound by Hextall. Loose in front. Smith has it. Sends it out to Svoboda for the long shot. And then Richer tips it in. That's his 4th of the night. And Hextall is being yanked for LaForest. Stefan Richer has netted 4 tonight. How about that? Al says he thinks the hockey plays smoother than the new version. I think so too. I'm pretty impressed with this. But Stefan Richer with a 4 mark. Montreal 6, Philadelphia 4. So here's Walter and Zezel. The Flyers have fought hard, but they just haven't put anything really in the net in a while. I don't know how many shots Richer has, but 4. Goodness. Here's Zezel to Derek Smith. He shoots. Wow with the save. Bellamy couldn't deflect it. Svoboda and Smith along the boards. Here comes Montreal. Walter to Lemieux to Corson. Back to Walter with that god-awful shot of Bob Gainey. Ugh. Huffman can't block it. LaForest with the save. I don't know what I can tell you about Mark LaForest. It'll be Smith and Craven for the face-off here. Or Zezel, pardon me. Smith wins the face-off in the Flyer zone. Over to Larry Robinson. Heel says, I'll shoot this. And LaForest makes the stop. Loves it, plays it out to Howe. Richer has 9 shots. He scored 4 of 9. Smith has 3 dishes for Montreal. Flyers into the zone. Poulin. Richer with the steal. Here comes Carbonneau. Over to Dahlin after a change. Momesso. And a penalty coming to the Flyers as Smith elbowed Momesso. Something that Sergio probably would have talked about on TSN 690 radio up here in Montreal. Shots 37-28 in favor of the Habs. They lead 6-4. Carbonneau with McPhee and Nyland, who already has a fight. Oh, wouldn't you just love another fight here? Poulin and Sutter shorthanded for the Flyers with Howe and Shell Samuelson. Ron Hextall's been chased from this game. Flyers win the faceoff. Sutter stripped by Carbonneau, and Larry Robinson is stripped. They don't call that either. Here comes Nyland on a rush. Carbonneau from Nyland. And LaForest stands to the challenge, stoned by him, and the Flyers clear. 1:32 to go in the power play. Back come the Habs. Nyland has it. To McPhee to Nyland. Nyland will try to penetrate. He will get the shot off, but not clearly, and LaForest gets it. So saving a hole, 2 shots in the power play. 39 now for Montreal. 1:09 to go in the penalty to Smith. Naslin joined by Thibodeau and Dahlin, Svoboda, and Ludwig on defense. Zezel and Thibodeau for the faceoff. Thibodeau wins the faceoff. Dahlin to Naslin. Thibodeau scores! You betcha! That's his first from Naslin and Dahlin. And the dumb penalties have put the Flyers right in a hole. Didn't I just say when this game started that don't expect us to be a 7-4 or 7-5 game? Yeah, the best laid plans of mice and men. So Walter and Zezel out for the face-off. Or Walter's out for the face-off. Corson and Lemieux. And Poulin wins the face-off. Huffman knocked down by Lemieux. Claude Lemieux. To Svoboda. Poulin hopes to block it. Nope, LaForest will make the save, and he'll hang on. 15:02 to go in the game. And the Flyers need 3 here. Corson, Walter, and Lemieux for Montreal. Walter's joined by Craven. Craven wins the faceoff to Tocchet. To Prop. Back to Tocchet. Tocchet shot. Blocked by Larry Robinson. Montreal brings it across from center ice. And then stolen by Samuelson. To Prop. In the half zone. Tocchet. Sandlin with the hit. Smith. It's a big 2-on-1 rush. Smith is with Richer. Could Richer plot his 5th? To Richer, back to Smith. Smith shoots. LaForest save. Flyers will skate it away. 13:50 to go in the game. Both teams change. Howe to Brown to Sutter to Eklund to Brown. Penalty coming up on Montreal. Oh, no. Well, there's no power play. It stays 5-on-5 as Chelios and Suter wish each other a happy Halloween. They'll get 2 minutes for roughing, not a fight, no punches were thrown, and no power play. So Robinson and Gingras, Corson, Walter, and Lemieux for Montreal. And I'm not sure who's on the ice for. Yeah, it's going to be 17-14, Al says. So Walter out for the face-off in the Montreal zone. Will face Zezel. Both sixes out of 10. Montreal wins it. Here's Zezel, though, after the hit by Zezel. Corson hits Crossman. Montreal will have it. Walter to McPhee to Skrudlin. With an outside shot, LaForest stops it. Blocker save. Rebound is controlled by Marsh and the Flyers. They'll move it up to Derek Smith, to Mellenby. Zezel. One-timer that's stopped by Warren. We have a face-off. 12:36 and a TV timeout. Shots 43-29 in favor of Montreal. How about that? And thanks for the likes for those of you watching. I appreciate that. I really do. All right, Naslin, Smith, and Riche out for the Habs. We think Poulin, Carson, and Sinisalo for the Flyers. It'll be Zezel out against Smith, and Smith wins the draw. Zezel, however, with the check, and here come the Flyers. Scott Mellenby to Crossman, back to Derek Smith, and it's stolen away by Montreal. Bobby Smith is hit by Mellenby. Oh, Montreal doesn't like that. Zezel. Back out to Derek Smith. He'll shoot. Mellenby tips it wide of the net. Montreal has it. 11:32 to go in the hockey game. Both teams send out new players. Here's Naslin over to Smith. Smith is checked by Shel Samuelson, checking from behind. And again, Montreal goes on the power play. 11:16 to go. Carbonneau, McPhee, and Nyland just begging for a fight. Come on, somebody. Just let me punch the ever-loving daylights out of you. Chelios and Robinson start the power play on offense for Montreal. We'll see who the Flyers send out. It's Davey Poulin. Carbonneau wins the face-off. Over to Chelios. Chelios shoots. LaForest has actually played pretty well. Poulin has hurt his wrist. He'll return. Craven and Suter is who the computer says. Carbonneau will face Suter for the McPhee and Suter for the face-off. But Nyland wins it. Pardon me, Nyland. To Chelios. One-timer from Robinson. LaForest save. And a rebound. Robinson over to Chelios. Back over to Nyland. To Mike McPhee. Smith hopes to block it. He does. And he blocks it out of bounds. Minute 35 on the penalty to Samuelson. 10:51 to go in the game. Thibault, Naslin, and Dahlin for Montreal. Suter will take the face-off for Philadelphia. Thibault wins it. Over to Robinson from Naslin. In front of the net. LaForest again with the save. That's the third stop of this power play. Philly has it. They'll clear it. All the way down. Here comes Thibodeau. 1:08 to go in the power play. They'll bring it up. Naslin to Thibodeau. Thibodeau to Naslin. Crossman takes it away. Crossman gets it. Philadelphia clears all the way to the other end. 40 seconds to go in the power play. Here comes Bobby Smith to Claude Lemieux. Lemieux shoots. Blocked by Smith. He has it. And here come the Habs. One last chance here. 20 seconds to go in the power play. Ludwig needs to dump it. Power play's over. Samuelson has it. Flyers kill it. 9:16 to go. 7-4 Montreal. Here comes Carson, and he comes across offside. Dave Poulin is ready to come back. 9 minutes to go. Montreal has 46 shots to the Flyers 13. Well, thanks, Al. I appreciate that. We should get this one just in time to watch the halftime show for the first Monday night game. It'll be Corson, Walter, and Lemieux with Green and Lawler. And I'm making the mistake of playing the visiting team. So if you're wondering why what you're seeing there for the Flyers isn't always what is there, remember, home team always gets the last ice change. And if I'm going to play a Montreal game, I'm always going to play Montreal. All right. So before that, this Friday, around 7 o'clock, we're going to play Calgary and Edmonton. And I picked out the third game. This is regularly going to be a Sunday afternoon series for the early, around 1 o'clock. So for the first half of the early NFL kickoffs, will be our normal time for this, along with some Friday nights. I forgot who I picked, but Calgary and Edmonton Friday night, the start of Wayne Gretzky's last year with the Edmonton Oilers. And Calgary had the best record of the National Hockey League in 1988. Believe it or not. Montreal was second. Was third. Edmonton was third. And the Boston Bruins were fourth. So Poulin's ready. Walter and Zezel on the face-off. Walter wins it. Walter skates it in the Flyer zone. Walter shoots. Corson tips it wide. Off target left, back on the Flyers. Both teams change. Brown, the right wing, shoots. Wow, with a save. That's the 30th shot by the Flyers tonight. Montreal has it. Here comes Skrudland to McPhee. Back to Skrudland to Lawler. Lawler in trouble. He'll lose it. Flyers have it behind their own net. Here comes Eklund to Crossman. Tries to get it past Skrudland. He does, but Waugh makes the save. 7:44 to go. See, what other... tomorrow, if you're watching this live, so Tuesday the 11th, at lunchtime, will be the Holy Roller game in our lunchtime NFL replay specials. The Oakland Raiders and the San Diego Chargers. That's at lunchtime on Tuesday, the 11th, from Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. Walter and Craven for the face-off. Flyers need to win these and put the pressure on. Poulin takes the face-off and he wins it. Over to Sinisalo. Shots. Wow, with the kick save. Rebound. Montreal has it, and they'll skate it down. Lemieux the other way. Lemieux with Walter in front. LaForest makes the stop. 7:12 to go in the hockey game. 7-4 Montreal. Smith out for Montreal, along with Zezel. Zezel wins the faceoff for the Flyers. Over to Smith. Back to Zezel. To Mellenby, who lost the puck, but Richer is called for interference, and the Flyers get a power play. So the Flyers catch a break to get one. That penalty coming at 13:04 of the third period, and Richer, who has 4 goals in this game, will sit out the next 2 minutes. Carbonneau and I think Zezel on the faceoff. It'll be Zezel. Carbonneau wins the faceoff, but Huppin knocks him down in the zone. Over to Howe. Hat-trick bid, maybe. But Brian Skrudland pokes it clear, and Montreal clears it all the way down. 90 seconds on the power play. Here's Murray Craven. Craven to Mellenby. Back to Craven, who shoots wide of the net. No shot. Poulin has it. Poulin hit by Chelios. Montreal will clear. They do, all the way down. Huffman with 50 seconds to go on the power play. The Flyers do not have a shot on this power play yet. Poulin to Craven. Mellenby. Huffman from outside. Mellenby skates towards the net and scores! Huffman with a slapper. So Mellenby stepped that up with the pass, his first assist. Craven's the one that brought it in. But Mellenby put the one-timer to Huffman and ran towards the net if there was a deflection or a rebound, but Huffman beats Waugh. So with 5:26 to go in the hockey game, it's 7-5 Montreal. This one isn't over yet, folks. Won't be 17-14. But we'll see. I'm probably not going to change Waugh. It'll be Richer's out of the box with his 4 goals, with Naslund and Bobby Smith, Svoboda and Sandelin on defense for Montreal. Zezel with, well, we'll see who it is for Philadelphia. Poulin Dave Poulin, and he wins the faceoff to Sinisalo. Poulin to Sinisalo. Back to Poulin at the point. Poulin shoots and Waugh saves. And we get the last TV timeout with 5:07 to go. So the Flyers have put a few more shots on the board, 47-34, in favor of the Habs. Walter will take the faceoff for Montreal against Murray Craven, who wins the faceoff. To Prop, back to Craven. Slapper blocked by Shane Corson. Montreal has it. 4:52 to go. Lemieux to Corson. In the zone. Prop with a hit. Here come the Flyers. Montreal is upset. Craven to Tocchet. Robinson deflects the shot. Montreal will have it. 4:14 to go. Corson in the zone to Lemieux. To Walter on a one-timer, and it misses. Wide left. Flyers have it. 3:57 to go. They need two. Craven to Prop to Tocchet. Into the zone to Samuelson. Back to Prop. That misses wide. Loose puck. Montreal has it. 3:36 to go. Sandlin to Naslin. Back to Smith. To Naslin. LaForest with the save. And he'll cover it up. 3:18 to go. So since the goalie change from the Flyers, Montreal hasn't scored. Bobby Smith, Peter Zezel. Smith has 3 assists. Face-off in front of Mark LaForest. Zezel wins the face-off. Flyers bring it across. Over to Derek Smith. He shoots. Naslin blocks it. Montreal has it. Under 3 to go. Sandlin. And they'll dump it behind, and the Flyers will set up another play here. 2:39 to go. Both teams change. Crossman to Zezel. Into the zone. Smith with Zezel in front. Wow, with a save. And the Flyers, with 2:22, call timeout. Shots 48-35 in favor of Montreal. I imagine Craven, Prop, and Tocchet is what you see. Craven has 2 assists. Wonder if we'll get another fight. Ryan Walter takes the face-off for Montreal. Smith for the Flyers. Montreal wins it. Robinson from Corson. Robinson will shoot from outside. LaForest hangs on. 1:55 to go. And we'll see if Philadelphia takes out the keeper. Walter and I think Zezel. Yep, Zezel on the face-off. Walter wins it. Gives it to Corson. Corson. No one there to pass it to. They reset it up. Corson. Still no one there for the shot. 97 seconds to go in the game. Sandlin, who should never have played, from the outside. Smith. LaForest holds it. And we'll get a face-off. 1:15 to go. Bobby Smith against Murray Craven. 50 shots for the Habs to 35 for Philadelphia. Naslin will take it instead. So will Prop. Smith wins the faceoff to Naslin. Again, we have some passing situations to Bobby Smith. No one there to pass to. Under a minute to go in the game. Riche. He will penetrate. He's got the 4 spot on the board already. He gets past the son of Gordy, and LaForest makes a huge save. Crossman has it. Zezel, the extra attacker. Here comes Prop. They need a miracle. 38 seconds. Crossman shoots. Wow, with the stop. 23 seconds to go. And so it would be a miracle for the Flyers to get 2 in 23 seconds. They're showing Mellenby as the extra skater. Bobby Smith is out for the faceoff. And Montreal wins it. Over to Naslin. Naslin advances the puck. Mellenby with the check. Here come the Flyers. 19 seconds to go. Prop. They got to shoot it in a hurry to Tocchet. They got to shoot it. They can't. Craven, 3 to go. They can't get a shot off, and Montreal wins. 18 shots in the third period for Montreal, the 9, and the Habs win 7-5. For 3 goals in the period, all of them on the power play. Richer, his fourth from Svoboda and Smith. Thibodeau, his first from Naslund and Dahlin. And then Huffman made it interesting, his first from Mellenby and Craven at 14:34. Penalties in the third period. There were no fights. Chelios and Suter had the roughing call. Shell Samuelson checking from behind, and then Richer's interference was the last one. Our 3 stars of the game. Stéphane Richer is the first star, obviously, with 4 goals. I would hope so. Mark Howe for the Flyers is your game's second star with 2. And Claude Lemieux didn't mug anybody, scored a goal and had 2 points. Bobby Smith had 3 assists. And Patrick Waugh had 31 saves. No notables for the Flyers. I almost said the Phillies. Shots on goal, 51-36 for Montreal. Faceoffs, 36-32 for Montreal. They had more hits than Philadelphia. That's unusual. They blocked more than Philadelphia. Montreal really came out to play, and they were 5 of 6 in the power play. Now, Philadelphia had 5 power plays and scored 2, which is very good. But Montreal dominated on the power play. And why? Because Ron Hextall had a terrible game. He allowed 6 goals in 41 minutes. We'll get the loss. LaForest came in and stopped all but 1 shot. He faced 16 and stopped 15 in the last 17-29. And Waugh, that .861 save percentage is not getting you into Toronto, kiddo. But it's a win nonetheless. I have way too many players dressed for this game. Let's see. Richer had 10 shots. I'll just let this stand there. And ask anybody any questions. Hey, thanks for being with me, Al. I appreciate that. Let me put up the Philadelphia stats. All right, so one more self-promotion for me, and you've all hit that like and subscribed. I appreciate that. Football Tuesday, Oakland, San Diego, Week 2, 78 season. Friday night will be Calgary and Edmonton from whoever is the home team. I won't get that confused again. And then Sunday, I can show you who I'm going to have that on the Sunday game if it's not Calgary and Edmonton. All right, so you've seen all the stats. Come on. So Calgary and Edmonton will be the next game. Whether I play that Friday or Sunday depends on how I feel. And then the week after, you get Calgary again. Hey, thanks, Doug, for being here. Calgary and the Rangers. And then the last game of the month, I have Edmonton and Montreal. Oh, that should be fun. So you get to see the great one, Wayne Gretzky, a couple times in the month. There's a Ranger fan that I know watches some of these. You get to see them too. So that's what we got going on for you. So hope you liked it. In our next game, we're going to talk about how we want to do the playoffs. Because we have a couple of different options. We don't have to be traditional. All right. Thanks a bunch, guys, for hanging with me. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night. You've all hit like and subscribe. And for Retro Sports Network, I'm Ron Juckett. We will talk to you the next time.